Great speech. Our next speaker is an unknown to politics. He's running for the U.S. Senate in the Republican primary. His name is Dennis Lamare. And I have a round of applause for Dennis.
Good afternoon, everyone. Did you watch the debate last night? It's a good debate. I won it. If you look on some of the blogs on the internet, every candidate said they won it. Don't you believe them? Because I won. Anyways, it's good to be here. The reason I'm running for the United States Senate is to be a representative of the people. It took me a while to decide to become a candidate, and I had to look at a couple things. One of the things was, are the other candidates speaking for me? And I come to the conclusion that they weren't. Then I decided that if somebody's going to speak for me, it's going to be myself. And then I looked at what's going on down in Washington. And I looked at who was causing all the problems down there, besides the president. And I came down to two types of individuals: attorneys and millionaires. And in the Senate race now, there are 7 candidates. 2 of them are attorneys, 2 of them are millionaires, and then it's the rest of us. I am the only candidate that is self-funding my campaign. I do not take a penny from anybody. Every penny that's spent on my campaign, I earned. All the other candidates say that they will go down to Washington and cut out wasteful spending, but they don't do it in their own campaign. Mr. Binney has spent $6 million on his campaign. Mr. Bender between $2 and $3 million. Mrs. Ayod around $2 million. Mr. Lamontagne over $1 million. I'm going to tell you that I am the one that talks the talk and walks the walk on this. When I filed my papers at the end of August, I reported that I spent a grand total of $3,862.95. I am the only one that can say that I will cut out spending down in Washington because I'm doing it in my own campaign. We are in an interview process where we come before you to tell you who we are as candidates so that you can decide when you go to vote next week who's going to be the person that you want to represent you. If you go to an interview, do you ask your prospective employer to give you money to get that job? I say no. What is any different in this particular race where we're coming before you to represent you to get that job? What gives us the right to ask you for money to get that job? Everything that I spend, again, is my money. I have the most to lose because I don't get any of it back. The other candidates do because they over the spending limit. They have a loan to get for their campaign. They get it back. I get nothing back. We have an opportunity. We have an opportunity this election to send one of us down to Washington to represent us, because I sit there on that stool beside you, I'm in your living room, I'm in the job next to you, we go out to dinner together, I am who you are, I'm part of your family. I work for a living. If I lose my job, I lose everything. I'm not a millionaire. I'd like to be, but I'm not. I'm not an attorney, and I wouldn't want to be one. But I'm just one of us, working hard, trying to get through life the best that we can without government interference. I was on a radio show in Dover the other day, and the announcer asked me, how do I rate President Obama's performance? He said A, B, C, D, or F. And I said X, because it's obscene what he's doing to us and what the Congress is doing to us down there. And we have to put a stop to it. We have to send one of us down there to get our voice known and heard that we're not going to put up with it anymore. And the other thing that I want to mention, and why I want to go down to Washington, is very near and dear to me, is that before President Clinton left office in December of 2000, he passed legislation to change the status of prisoner of war to duty status whereabouts unknown, which means they didn't show up for the job. Since World War II, we have, and up to today, we have almost 100,000 military people missing or prisoner of war, and now they have no status at all. We have a prisoner in Iraq, we're getting out of Iraq, and they could just forget about him because he's not a prisoner of war. He doesn't have the status. We have a soldier in Afghanistan that's been missing for a year. They don't know where he is. He's not a prisoner of war as far as the government is concerned. My job as a U.S. Senator will be to work very diligently, tirelessly, and every breath in me to get that status back to prisoner of war. And I need your help to do it. And they need your help. Because there's no other candidate for the United States Senate that is even mentioning prisoners of war. They say that they support the troops, but they don't mention those prisoners of war. So will you stand with me and help me to get these prisoners the status and the respect that they deserve? Will you do that for me? Thank you. And when you vote on Tuesday, vote for Dennis Lamare, and Dennis Lamare will be a representative for those 2 POWs that are missing. Thank you.